Plus, explosions and gunfire echo across Sudan's capital after a second attempt at ceasefire fails. Fighting between the army and paramilitary forces showing no signs of abating ahead of festivities marking the end of Ramadan.
For more on the situation in Sudan, Hamid Khalafallah joins us live now from Khartoum. He's the Programme Officer for Constitution Building International. Mr. Khalafallah, thank you for joining us. The situation, it is very volatile in the country. 2 attempts at a ceasefire, they failed. The last one on Tuesday, it lasted literally minutes. And this violence is also spreading to other areas apart from the capital. And taking into account that at its root, what we're watching is a power struggle. How long might this active armed conflict persist?
It will potentially last for weeks, if not months. Both leaders are determined to wipe each other out. They keep on making statements that the other leader is being, unrealistic and unreasonable and so on, and will continue to fight until we get that leader down. So it seems like the leaders are not willing to retreat, and they're not willing to get into any ceasefires or truce. We have seen how all announced ceasefires did not hold and they were not honored. So there's very little evidence to believe that these leaders are planning to end this war anytime soon. And this is why international mediation is needed urgently to exert pressure on these leaders, because in the crossfire of their power struggle, Sudanese people are dying.
There are many people there who are not from Sudan. They are from other countries. Their countries' governments have tried to make plans. They're making plans to evacuate citizens. Thousands of residents have also been trying to flee as well. Given just how volatile the situation is, though, how can safe passage out of Khartoum even be possible?
Yes, I don't see safe passages being guaranteed at the moment, particularly with truth not holding in the past few days. However, we have evidence that if the parties, the Rapid Support Forces and the Sudanese armed forces are genuine and willing to open these passages, they have the capacity to do that. The evidence is that yesterday they managed to evacuate the Egyptian soldiers that the RSF have captivated in the army base in Merowe, where all of this tension have started. They captured the Egyptian soldiers, and yesterday they managed to send them off to the Red Cross, and then they were evacuated to Egypt, where they arrived safely. So, there are a lot of obviously political incentives for why both parties would be very determined to make sure that this evacuation of Egyptian soldiers goes smoothly. So if they want to collaborate to get this done, they can do that.
Meantime, Mr. Khalafallah, it's a very trying, difficult situation for civilians. We know that half of Khartoum hospitals, they're out of action. That's according to the Médecins Sans Frontières. Multiple humanitarian programs have been suspended as well. The situation, arguably catastrophic as far as healthcare is concerned. What's being done to help those trapped in Khartoum, and how is aid going to make it in safely?
It is definitely catastrophic on the healthcare side of things, but also just on the daily life basis. Most citizens do not have power. There are power outages. Most of them don't have running waters in their houses, so they have to go and find water from other sources, which are also running out. So and food supplies are running out. So you have a city that is full of citizens that are potentially going, hungry and thirsty, and getting into very difficult situations. Nothing is being done from official authorities. International organizations are unable to work in such circumstances. They have not set up their, operations for this kind of context yet. So it's taking time. Very limited support is being given through some international organizations, particularly to hospitals and so on. Most of the support that is happening is social. The community is mobilizing, they're connecting with each other. Everyone is trying to, help their neighbors and their families and friends and so on. So people are now basically relying on this community kind of support where the state is completely absent.
Coups, Mr. Khalafallah, in Sudan, attempted takeovers there of government. They have contributed to many years of political instability. What pathway is there for a reliable truce now between the army and the RSF?
I think the only pathway could be guaranteed with international mediation, who could exert very strong pressures on both actors. The Sudanese armed forces and the rapid support forces, have regional allies whom they depend on their support and so on. They cannot, operate or sustain their existence without that support coming from neighboring and regional countries here. So the international community's pressure to end these ties and to make
Right, we seem to have lost Mr. Khalafallah there. We've been speaking there to Hamid Khalafallah, speaking to us live from Khartoum.